Okay, what is this?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Adafruit Show and Tell. We've got for you a full hour, approximately, just a little bit less than an hour, of people from around the world showing off their projects, including new magazine, contest challenge, work from home offices, LEDs, teletypes, 3D printed stuff, and more from the community. It's going to be so awesome. Everybody is invited to join in. We're going to be jam-packed. We always go to the very last minute. So we're going to go to some friends of Adafruit folks who have come by and want to give some announcement and product previews.
That's right.
And then we'll go to Adafruit peeps.
Every single week, we've been doing this for over a decade. Now it's 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we've been inviting lots of folks from the community. Everyone in Discord can join. And then every month now, we do the world premiere of the latest issue of HackSpace magazine. And we have Ben, who's the editor-in-chief.
Hey
Ben, and you're in the UK. I have to remember to ask where people are. Thanks for joining us. And you're up to issue number 30, and here it is.
Yeah, issue 30.
Check it out. Nice big Arduino.
Okay, tell us about this issue.
So the cover feature is all about Arduino. We've got 75 sort of tips and tricks for how to get the most out of your projects. What else have we got in? So the interview, actually, I really enjoyed this issue with Kamui Cosplay. She's got some really sort of inspiring stuff to say about how sort of process she goes through to make her projects. But this is at the start. We've got the top project section.
Her cosplay's so good.
Whatever you say, I'm going to just click around to. So, this is one of ours. A lot of Adafruit stuff, a lot of NeoPixels.
And cute dogs.
Lots of corgis.
She loves those corgis.
Yeah.
And she's so extra. She makes it look so easy. She's so skilled.
Well, it's really interesting. In the interview, she sort of goes through sort of a lot of the challenges she's had and the sort of the headspace she needs to get into to make these sorts of things. And it's a really interesting interview, actually.
All right. What else you got going on?
Right at the start, we've got the top projects, which is we've picked 10 projects from around the makersphere. That's right at the start of the magazine, around page 6 and 7.
I'll go there.
So we've got that's absolutely lovely. Like binary and Nixies in one. What's that like?
That's nice.
Overclock.
That's a good idea because there's a lot of like cars that you're just not going to ever do anything else. You should turn into a clock.
You can do loads of really cool stuff with bits off cars because so many of them are sort of engineered in really interesting ways.
Good idea.
And the stuff you can build off that. And this is absolutely gorgeous as well. The Game Boy made out of brass and bits.
That's nice.
It's having the gold cartridge for Zelda, but it's like the gold Game Boy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Infinity tables, those are fun.
Yeah, these are great.
Use an Arduino.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then topical projects because we're all wearing masks.
You guys got this in fast. This was only like a couple weeks ago.
It's kind of hard to respond to sort of changing events in a magazine. But we've got some bits in there. Thanks. What else have we got? This shelf is absolutely beautiful as well, with the 7-segment built into the shelves.
Oh, that's a good idea because it could be a shelf and it can be like a clock and have messages and stuff like that.
Very, very helpful.
That is smart. Okay,
this is going really old school with the Meet the Maker. This is a chap doing letterpress printing, which is it's obviously something we really enjoy. But
okay, you got make, do, and mend. You got Drew talking about making PCBs.
Yeah.
Letters. Oh yeah, the rotary cell phone is still making the rounds.
It's such a. I think it really resonated with people, that project. It's something that a lot of people think, you don't want to keep looking at your phone, but it is actually useful to be able to contact people when you need to. And it just makes you think about stuff in a different way, maybe.
Handwritten phone call.
It uses our phone module, and a lot of people were trying to buy them right after that. I hope they make them. I hope they make them. Then you got some more stuff. This is CircuitPython Deluxe. This is cool. This is a CircuitPython board. This is one of the
Like a modular one,
Yeah.
Like you just solder it onto your board. It comes with
one
everything.
of hundreds of boards that now support
Yes.
CircuitPython.
Yeah, it's great for making it just that much easier to move up to sort of PCB level stuff.
Okay.
Solder it straight on.
We got some welding. And then I guess in the big feature, you got a bunch of Arduino projects.
So it's Arduino sort of tips and tricks really, rather than projects.
Yeah.
So, what you need to think about.
Feather boards. Yay!
Top 10 libraries.
Top 10 libraries.
And then you can
run it all
time. Yeah.
I think
Unipixel.
One of the things I'd almost forgotten when I did this is that you can use the Arduino to program Raspberry Pis as well.
Yeah.
And it's sort of quite a nice sort of over-the-air programming technique there.
Hackaday.
Oh, look, there's Colin. See that, Colin?
Hey, look.
Oh, no, that's not Colin. Sorry, it looked like Colin for a second. It tricked me. Okay, get a free circuit playground when you register, and then now 3D printed projects.
Yeah, this is points at the ISS.
Projects.
Yeah, the interview we've talked about, but it's always worth going back and having a look at that cosplay again.
All right, this is a cool gift player. That's nice.
Funny.
Yeah, because in this section we always sort of look at stuff that you wouldn't. We call it improviser's toolbox because it's stuff that you've got lying around that you can make stuff with. So paper and because you can do loads with paper, but obviously you just think of it as something that you write on.
All right, and then timely. Everyone who had a 3D printer, you got to stop printing those 3D printed Yoda heads. Move on to PPE for a bit.
Yeah.
This is great.
Definitely. So this is mostly about a project in the UK, but there's sort of similar ones all over the world. I'm sure there's multiple ones in the States as well.
Yep.
Hey, good review of ULab. Did you like ULab? You tried it out?
Yeah, I'd actually been trying to do spectrograms for a little while in CircuitPython, and you just couldn't get the performance, like even close to the performance needed before ULab. But it's
or MicroLab. All right, well, Jeff Epler, who's going to be showing off some stuff, he was the one who did the port. But it's really cool because you can finally do the kind of math, analysis to do like sensor stuff. And so I think the clue was that's why we were like, oh, finally we have a board with sensors built in. This is it's a good one to release it for.
Got microbit radios.
Microbit. A lot of people have microbits in their own home.
Yeah, bots. Yeah. Fire jars. Neopixels.
Yeah, that was.
How did you get all this in the last month? This is
so much content.
This is great. And you know what? I'll because obviously, like folks know, Lady and I we're at Adafruit doing essential manufacturing, and we're on staggered shifts because we're making sure all of our teams are safe. And I'm not reading the internet anymore as much, and the magazine format is great for that now. Because you just picked all the great stuff, and I can just look at this. And this is the first time I'm seeing this before, the world now. But I feel like this is what I need right now because I kind of don't have time to go look at a billion RSS feeds. So thanks for putting this together. And this is Becky project.
Becky project.
And it's just this is like the best of the best. This is the stuff that I would normally try to find and blog about or like send to our team. But good work.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are spending a lot more time in front of screens at the moment as well. And it's quite nice to have something sort of offline.
Yeah. I love seeing my friends. It's like, I don't see people in person, but now I see my friends in print. So that's as good.
Some connect hacking. Yeah, and look, here's Clue.
Clue, what did I get?
We got 9
that's pretty good.
I agree with that. I think that's fair.
Fair.
I think that's fair.
Okay. Good. It's a review section at the end, and just a preview of next month.
IoT, that's cool. We love this stuff. I just love all these Kamui cosplay photos. What a great job.
So, we're in a spot, I guess, like a lot of companies. Like obviously things are tough for everybody, but now's the chance for folks to support the things they really want because this is when it matters the most. So how can folks get this? Of course, it's going to be a download online, but folks don't want it. They don't want that. They want to make sure they're supporting this because they like seeing you each month and they like getting this. How do they support you? How do they get this?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can subscribe at hsmag.cc. Go there and you can subscription options for wherever you live in the world, and we'll ship it out to you. You can also buy issues online at the same place, hsmag.cc, and get it in print.
Awesome.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Ben. We'll see you next month. And please continue to stay safe and healthy. And thank you for providing this entertainment. Some of the days are a little gnarly. And now, I'm speaking for me right now, but I have something to look forward to after we're going to the factory tonight. After I get back, this is the first thing I'm doing. After I decontaminate or whatever I got to do. So, all right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks.
And
all right.
HackSpace. Right.
Next up, we have special guest Alex from Hackster. This is the celebrity edition of Show and Tell. So,
how's it going?
You're here, and maybe you can talk a little bit about Hackster and then the COVID Detect and Protect Challenge.
Oh, sure. Well, Hackster is, of course, an online community for hardware developers, and we have a pretty huge community. We passed 1 million people a while ago, but I'm really more excited to talk about what you folks are doing, where, I just think it's so cool how you're supporting your team, you're not furloughing anyone. I saw your tweet last week where you're continuing to pay everyone, and it's just beautiful. I think you're doing such a cool job, and it makes me want to support you even more.
Yeah.
I had to have a fangirl moment.
Here's the thing. One of the things that Adafruit does, and I think we have this going on in this entire community, is we release open source software and hardware so people copy it. Copying is a good thing. So if Adafruit, a private company, no loans, no venture capital, can pay their people, not furlough, not cut hours, not cut the hourly people, not, if we can do it, then other companies can too. It's going to be easy to shame companies. Disney's in the news right now. There's people who their last name's Disney, the Disney heiress is what are you doing, Disney? How can you get rid of 400,000 people? So I think companies have a lot of chances, and they have a very low bar right now to do good, and they can. So we're hoping if we show that we can do it in New York City during all this, maybe other people can. But I also want to say thank you to your team at Hackster for getting all the COVID information out, getting the projects out, and then you're working with, I want to make sure I get the group, it's the United Nations Development Program Center.
Yeah.
To help solve this, to help try to prevent this, to help try to combat it.
Just like everyone else. So we're working with the UNDP, the United Nations Development Program, and a bunch of leading technology companies to basically bring together global engineering communities, everyone who's already in part of this huge, really is one community. But anyway, we're looking for low-cost, easy-to-use software, hardware, and services that are going to support in detecting and preventing COVID-19, and then how to implement and distribute these to the people who are going to need it most. So we have a website. Oh, let me 1 second. Share screen. This takes a second. Oh boy.
Let's see, where is...
Oh no, it's not working. Well, anyway, so it goes. You can go to covid19detectprotect.org, and that's easy to remember because it's UNDP and then it's COVID-19 DP, Detect and Protect. For me, that's easy. But the COVID-19 Detect and Protect Challenge information is there, along with a whole bunch of information about the context around the challenge, and what specifically we're looking for. You can also go to hackster.io/contests and find the contest itself, which is where you submit. You have until June 30th to share your own projects for this stuff. I wanted to show this project I built, the touchless hand washing timer and nightlight, because it features an Adafruit Circuit Playground Express and is a really easy touchless.
I can screen share something new.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. What do you want me to do on here?
Yeah, so it's the top one there.
Which one?
This is the contest.
The one with 8 million sponsors. Because we brought together really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to judge. Lady is going to judge. We're working on some COVID-specific technologies. We have a UVC thing we're doing. We have open source software that we're trying to have work with the fever scanners, so you can detect temperatures. So hopefully, maybe tomorrow or the next day, the three of us are going to hang out in another video, and we'll talk about some of the stuff we're doing, and we're going to tell people, here's some ideas, and here's some stuff that we're not going to get to. So use them and win.
I can't wait to hear about that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So here it is. So folks can... you
have 70 days.
Yeah, they can see the challenges, and there's...
And you can see the rewards as well. Obviously, we think that it's awesome and it feels really good to contribute anyway, but we do want to incentivize people. So there's like a fancy drone you can get from, oh my goodness, my brain is going. NXP Hover Games drone, yes! And you can get an NVIDIA Jetson kit and things like that. Honestly,
Sounds fun.
It's just cool to cross-pollinate ideas and share designs in the first place, but you also have a chance to win some cool stuff.
Okay, this is awesome. Thanks, Hackster, for putting this together.
All right.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Alex, and we'll see you probably next day or so.
Cool,
and
rock on.
We'll have a specific video about all this and more. All right. Okay, next up, we're going to go to Kevin in Minnesota. Oh, no, Kevin, you were there and you're not there now.
He's hiding. Oh,
Let's see. Kevin. No, Kevin.
No.
Kevin. No,
He's
Kevin.
at 2001. Oh, wait, there he is. He's back.
Where? Is he back as another?
Nope.
You're seeing the same thing I am.
Oh.
Back. Well, what we'll do is we'll, he has a little.
No. Okay. Well, we'll give him a minute. Maybe we'll go on to the next person.
Yeah, if I see Kevin, I'll bounce back to him.
Okay.
So let's see.
How about Melissa? You want to go?
Yeah.
Next?
Let's now go to Melissa.
Hey,
and we'll check
Melissa.
back with Kevin in a bit. Hello, Melissa.
Hi. So one thing I have been working on here is getting the Onion Omega 2 Plus working with Blinka, and I have it driving an LCD display over SPI. So right now it's just running a little demo program here and flashing like red, green, and blue, and then black, and then a random color. And
All right, cool.
it just kind of loops back and forth on that.
All right. Well, you've proven that Blinka works, so people can check that out. Where can they, if they have an Onion IO board, where can they get more info?
They can get it on CircuitPython.org. And one cool thing about this is I think this is the first board I've added Blinka to that did not have an SD card, so it's all running on the Onion itself.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I've got built-in memory. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, almost every week we're adding new Linux boards, and other people are adding Linux boards to Blinka. So we're up to like, what, 50 or 60 boards by now?
Mm-hmm. And this is going to be one that's coming up, which is the RockPi S here.
That's so small and cute. That's
Yeah.
much cuter than I thought. Okay. Adorable.
All right.
All right, thanks, Melissa, for the
Thank
update.
you, Melissa. I'm going to go back to Kevin, I think, who is now beamed in. Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
You're back.
How are you, Kevin?
Good. It was weird. I could see you. I just had to restart my camera.
That's how it goes.
Technology.
All right, what's up with you?
So what's up with me? So DigiKey, we're still shipping products. We're shipping Adafruit products like crazy. It's been really good for us. We have now required masks for everyone inside of our building, which is really good. Being from northern Minnesota, we're very remote, and actually we just had our official first COVID case in our county, so now everyone's starting to feel a little more pressure. But that's all right. A couple things that I've been working on. Of course, everyone's wearing a mask, so I made one.
Oh, nice.
All right, glowy.
Circuit Playground Express with the voice input and added a NeoPixel ring to it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, just to add a little fun. I learned a lot of new language words using a sewing machine because I don't know how to sew.
We're all taking on new skills.
It was kind of fun. Another thing I'm working on is we're working on DigiKey, learn.digikey.com. We're adding a lot of tech at home projects around everything from engineering to STEM to just maker projects. We're kind of trying to collaborate everything into one good location. It's on our Maker.io website. And one of the projects on there is just a simple nightlight off the Circuit Playground Express.
This is a great beginner project. It's a great first project.
Yeah, it is. And the beauty of this project, which everybody knows, with the Circuit Playground Express, you can start with MakeCode, and then you can move on to either JavaScript or even better, CircuitPython, and then make any kind of lights you want, which this one's just cycling rainbow, but it's pretty cool. You can walk in your room and clap your hands, and it'll turn on a specific color. So it is a fun first project, and it's just one of many projects we're posting up on the learn.digikey.com site.
All right.
We also have masks.
Yeah, we're working on some mask stuff too. Yeah.
I really like the masks in the HackSpace magazine. Those were really cool.
Yeah, those are really
Yeah.
cool.
So these are one that we'll show these off on Ask an Engineer tonight.
Oh, I love them. The only other thing I'm working on is 3D printing this. It might look kind of weird, but I was asked by someone in our custodial department if I had a 3D printer, and I said yes. So putting these on the bottom of doors to open and close them with your feet.
Oh, I like that. You know, I like that in general. I like kick plates and stuff. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I haven't actually mounted it on yet. I'm going to do that probably tomorrow evening after everyone leaves the building and go in there and mount them and see how they work. But I think it's a good way to not touch door handles.
Okay.
All right. Well, first up, stay safe. And I can tell you as someone who's in New York and you know the news, this is number one here and not number one for all the good reasons. It's possible to avoid this. It's possible to fight it. It's possible to win. Just everyone has to be disciplined and have protocols and do all the smart stuff. So our thoughts are with you all out there. And special thanks to DigiKey and everyone at DigiKey who's been helping Adafruit with a lot of logistics. So when you want things that are non-essential goods and services from Adafruit, you can get them from DigiKey. So if you want a Circuit Playground Express, you can get it from DigiKey right now. If you want that feather that's just going to be for you, that project that, you know, is a home automation thing, get that from DigiKey. If you're government, university, ventilator parts, things like that, that's an essential good, you can check out and say this is for COVID-19 related. But thank you, everyone. This is making it possible for us to still function, do what we can do to help New York City and New York State, and then people can still get their stuff that they want from Adafruit at DigiKey. So thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. Thank all your customers. You guys are all amazing. And I know I've said this before. I can't say it enough. Thank our warehouse team and really the entire DigiKey staff. Every department, it's all hands on deck. Our executive team has been nothing but phenomenal and working with everybody and making this all possible. So
the DigiKey facilities team, we're exchanging emails. If folks look on our YouTube channel, you can see me in a big Tyvek suit with a giant helmet thing. So I use some of their tips on aerosol fogger disinfectors. So if you want to see me just like blast, parts of Adafruit with a fogger for disinfecting, I have a video of that as well. So thanks to our facilities team for sharing that information.
All right, I was going to see you, Kevin.
All right, bye, Kevin.
All right, good to see you guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All
right. Next up, we're going to go to Jepler.
Hey, Jepler.
Last week, Jepler had something so delightful. It was a long day, and it was so cool to see the project. So I'm just going to go straight to what I know was delightful.
I didn't even recognize Jepler at first. What happened to you?
What do you mean what happened to me?
Didn't you have a beard last week?
I had a beard until recently. It usually comes off in the spring.
Okay. All right.
It's hot here in Nebraska, and you just don't want that.
This is like Jepler molting season.
I don't even remember what Jepler looked like. I've been focused on this project. Okay. So what do you got this week?
Right. So the guide went live yesterday for RGB Matrix, and we also made a release of CircuitPython 5.3.0 release candidate 0 that has the necessary code. So you can download and run this now. It's right on Learn. And we've got 4 demos. How many is 4? We've got 2 scrollers, the simple one, a rainbow one. We've got the fruit machine, which I will bring back in a little bit.
That's bitmaps.
And we've got a tribute to John Conway. So let me just get my window up here and we'll cycle through those demos.
And I like all these demos. First off, they look cool, but then they also show each little thing that people want to do.
Right. Yeah. This one in particular, we focused on here are some things you can try customizing. And actually, all these demos may be tweaked a little bit compared to what's on the guide because I can't stop playing with them. It's just so fun.
Yeah. Now, this is great because, people get these low-cost LED panels. I call them RGB matrices, but they're basically, I know that there's like a low-cost bag that has one of these built in that's on sale on Amazon. People pick them up for like 10 pounds. And then you could wire now up to a CircuitPython board. Right.
Yeah. I was actually talking to a local HackSpace guy, and he got out the handbag, and he's like, will it work with this? And I said, yes.
We should actually say it works with handbag. All right, cool. So you want to show another demo?
Yeah. So this is a little tribute to John Conway, who passed away. He invented a lot of things, but he was big in recreational mathematics, and Conway's Game of Life is one of those things. There are 3 simple rules that govern the change from frame to frame, and when you follow them, you get these amazing patterns. And Lamore, it was your suggestion to add this, but I was like, yeah, John Conway, we miss him and we need to remember him right now. So yeah, all of these patterns, people give them names. So this guy here is a blinker, and I forget what this is. I think this is a loaf. And then the changing patterns have names like gliders and so forth. So there's just a ton of stuff to learn, and you can fall down a real click hole about Conway's Game of Life.
All right, sweet.
All right, you got anything else?
Well, I've got the rainbow scroller.
Yeah, do rainbow scroller, and then we'll get to JP.
This was intense because
this is fast.
You had to render each character in a different color, which is not built in. So you kind of had to like make the strings on the fly, but it looks good.
Yeah, that's right. This was a little more complicated. It's where I started because I knew I wanted a rainbow. But yeah, so it's a little bit of a discontinuity between the simple one and this one, but go read the code and learn some stuff. And yeah, just learn is the key. And
awesome.
here's the fruit machine. If you're ready, Lamar.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it. I'm always ready for a fruit machine. Are you kidding? Every morning I wake up and I'm like,
yeah.
So technically, we are a fruit machine. I mean.
All right, we got Moo, Adabot, and Sparky.
I still have not seen 3 of the same come up. It should happen. There's 20 symbols, so about 1 in 400 times.
All right. Well,
we're not going to wait for it.
You're going to get a call from the casinos, and they're going to be like, "How do you make a machine that never pays out?" So.
All right, thanks for doing that. Everybody check out that guide.
All right.
It's on learning now.
Thank you all.
It was
triple LEDs.
It was mostly LEDs.
I like that.
Oh.
Okay,
right.
cool.
Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
I'm here all night.
Always a delight.
All right.
All right,
next up, JP and JP's screen.
Right on. Okay, so I got a couple things to show, actually. The first, I'm going to hide that thing to show you. This is the project that I've been working on last week on the show, and I've got a guide coming out pretty soon, which is a pulse oximeter. This is a Bluetooth pulse oximeter. It'll measure your blood oxygen level and your pulse, and a mysterious pulse-related thing called pleth that I don't still quite understand, but it's sort of a pulse strength graph. And this is going to start sending that data, if this were plugged in, to my Feather Bluetooth NRF52840, and then it's logging to an SD card. And I've got a real-time clock functional on here, so we get a time, day, and date stamp for every piece of data. So then you can take that SD card out of there, and you can plug that into your computer, and then you can graph it in a spreadsheet program or use it for other quantified self stuff or health-related reasons. So that is the pulse oximeter thing. That's going to be coming soon. We've got a really nice library that Dan wrote that makes it easy to work with that data. And then the other thing here, this cool thing, this is my latest kind of weird vintage item that I picked up. That's a TTY, a teletype machine, also sometimes called a TDD machine, made by a few different brands, including Minicom, who made these, I think, for AT&T. And what you can see here is that this is acoustically coupled to a telephone handset, and this was used to type messages.
We can even hear the beeping. That's so cool.
Yeah, you should hear some beeping, because I'll remove this so you'll hear even more. That is sending a 5-bit message in a protocol called Baudot, B-A-U-D-O-T, which is used in a few different type of teletype machines and systems. This one would be used so that people who are hard of hearing or deaf could communicate, and then sometimes this would go directly machine to machine over the phone system, or sometimes there would be a service person in the middle who was receiving this and then speaking to the person on the other side, and vice versa. So I'm teasing this because I'm about to start working on a project with it, and I'll be showing that on my show tomorrow. It involves trying to acoustically couple, at least in one direction, this thing to a clue board. So I've got a clue here, and I've got our nice little stemma speaker, so I can get some nice clear audio out of this.
Tones.
Messages. Yeah, some tones, some sine wave tones that I'll be using. So this is what you can expect to see on John Park's workshop tomorrow. So come on by. It'll be at, what time is that thing? 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern. I think I got that right. And that's what I've got to show. So.
All right, and also every Tuesday now, JP's doing a Make Code Power Hour. So check that out as well. We'll have
That's
some
right.
highlights and more on Ask an Engineer tonight. Thank you so much, JP.
Sweet.
thank
Thanks,
you.
JP.
All right,
And next
Aaron.
up, Aaron.
How
and
are
her
you, Aaron?
screen.
Hello. Yeah. So this weekend I've been working on one of these guys. So this is what this is a power switch relay. It's got a bunch of different outlets on it, and it hooks up to a microcontroller. I've got it hooked up to a Circuit Playground Express right here. What it does is it's basically a smart switch. So a lot of with Alexa, that sort of thing, you can go online and you can pay $60 for a smart plug that you can turn on and off with your Alexa or whatever. But this is basically the same thing, only you can use the Circuit Playground and all of its fancy sensors to.
You don't have to share data with Amazon. Just do it on your own.
That's right, and you can control it a lot of more interesting ways than just with your voice. Like you can do. I have a couple of. If you want to go ahead and share my screen, I have a couple of examples in here.
Yeah. Aaron's screen.
So this right here is showing it with a snap activation. So sound is basically making the clapper, and one of the outlets goes off. And this is the other two go on. So you can basically toggle stuff back and forth, whatever you have plugged in. You can also do it with a motion. Here it is like hooked up to this shake sensor. And then I've also programmed a timer on this one so that it stays on for X number of seconds and then switches itself back off again, which is pretty powerful. And then the third example I have here is the light activation. So the Circuit Playground has a light sensor on it. So you can basically make your lights go on and off when it gets dark or, whatever you want to do. And there's so many different options too that I didn't even use. You can basically switch outlets based on temperature. You can switch outlets, capacitive touch pads, and there's so many different things you can do. And anything you could code on the Circuit Playground can control like real stuff in your house.
Yeah, it's all with MakeCode, so it's like so easy. It's a great beginner project. This is if you want to control stuff, make interactive art. You don't have to be an engineer. You just put this together, and there's no soldering. It's like a 2-minute project.
It's a lot of fun, and it's been fun running around and turning on lights in the tiki bar and that sort of thing in my house. So I just launched the tutorial this week, so take a look for that on the Learn system. Probably you can't get your hands on one yet, but like put it in your projects folder for when things open up again. So.
Yep.
All right.
And we'll be playing some of the video and your projects on Ask an Engineer tonight.
Awesome.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks,
for coming on.
Next up is
Brent.
Hey, Brent, what month and day is it? Do you know?
I don't really know the month and day, but I do know about when it is. So this past week, we saw a project on Reddit that's like a quarantine clock. And it was on a Raspberry Pi, and it was HTML-based. And we did a remix of it using CircuitPython and the PyPortal because it sits really nice. This is the laser cut case that came with the Ada box.
Yeah, and folks at home, if you look at this, it's mirrored, so it says Wednesday. Yeah, it's backwards on the screen.
It did flip.
But you'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I have to tool a little bit better. And then it says Wednesday and duskish. So each hour corresponds with a different description of the hour. It's like, I think one of them is morning-ish. One of them is like very late. One of them is super late, which is like Lady Ada hours.
Not anymore. I gotta sleep early now.
Oh, well, now there's also dawn and like, so there's different times, and we'll probably do a remix of this where we'll have like, if Wednesday is too specific, you could have the month that's like April-ish or May-ish or early April-ish. And then you can customize the fonts, you can customize the colors, and you can customize the backgrounds. So if you want to learn CircuitPython and you want to do a really quick, simple, easy IoT project, this is it.
Yeah, and it gets the time. Well, the precision time it gets over the internet, so it knows exactly what time it is. But it doesn't force you into the rigid time structure.
No, it's
just like approximate.
Yeah. So thank you, Brent. We'll see you later tonight-ish. In some of your projects, maybe, or maybe we'll see you on
the guide will be live
next week-ish. Yeah.
Next Wednesday, like.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Ryan.
All right. Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
Okay. Gonna get rid of. Okay, he dropped out. That was good. All right. Now we're gonna go to Noam Pedro, and we're gonna go to Noam Pedro's screen, and then after that, we're gonna. We saw folks coming in, so great. If everyone keep to a couple minutes, we can get to everyone tonight.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hey.
Hey, so we were out last week because we were moving. We were pretty exhausted. We're still living out of boxes, but here's a preview of what 3D Hangouts now looks like.
Oh,
We
dog.
got everything sectioned off into 3 different rooms. So the whole print room is all completely separate now, so we don't have to have earphones on when we're working. Here's all the printers printing away all of the masks we've been giving away to all the doctors in New York.
Yeah.
So printing a bunch more. And then going out of this room, we have a whole separate room just for editing and doing hero shots. So here we are, where we have the hero setup and all the parts bins with all the Adafruit components in there.
Amazing.
And then here's where we do the hero
That's my entire
shots.
apartment.
It's like a content factory.
I know. And then jumping out of here, we're the room that we're in right now, specifically for streaming, because before we had to break everything down when we had to do hero shots. Or
Yeah, streaming room.
yeah. So all of our
Nice.
still getting all the projects out of the boxes and displaying all that out. And yeah, we still got to do a third round to get all the additional stuff out of the old house
Yeah.
and get all that in here. And
That's what's nice about Florida is there's a lot of room. I'll do the tour of Lady Ada and I's apartment. Here you go.
This is it.
So that was a tour.
This is the room.
Yeah, welcome to New York.
and I see that Bill Binko's in the waiting in the waiting green room. So we're in Orlando now. Hey, we're in Champions Gate. So whenever you want to stop by,
all right,
please wear a mask and all that good stuff.
Of course.
That's
But the
great.
project is where is it? Switch screens.
There we go. Yeah, so we put together Eduardo's Learn Guide. It uses the Pi badge and the MLX 90640 to make a thermal imaging camera. So we put together this nice little kind of clamshell snap together case. And let's see if we can get my hand in there. I have the 110 field of view version of the sensor, so it's pretty wide angled. But yeah, we put some extra buttons here. We got an on-off switch because we don't have access to it, so we can turn it on and off. I have a button here that could do either the A or B button or the reset button. Broke out the USB right there. Tripod screw at the bottom, right? We always love tripod screws.
Yes.
So we put that there. Yeah, so we'll have this either on Friday or this weekend, but just a nice little case for the
Yeah, this is amazing. This looks like every IDEO project I saw from like the early 2000s, and they're like, this is the future. So now we can print it and make it ourselves.
And then we put the video on Vimeo so Phil can preview it for Ask an Engineer.
That's
We
right.
will. All right.
thanks
Thanks
so
Phil.
much.
Congrats on your move.
Yay.
Bye. Scott next.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Scott. Hello, Scott. How you doing?
Hello. First, 2 quick shout outs. DigiKey, I ordered on Monday and I got it today. Some interesting dev boards and stuff. So thanks to everybody there for still keeping me supplied with way more projects than I have time to do. Second thing, I'm wearing my PyCon 2018 shirt. PyCon 2020 is all virtual, so search YouTube for PyCon 2020 and you'll see every week they're trying to post new talks and stuff there. So please check those out. They're really cool and creative because everyone's doing them from their own house. And then the thing that I wanted to show for show and tell is what I call a flip dip. You know that I love keyboards, piano keyboards in this case, and I want to figure out how to basically make them CircuitPython powered. So I've created what I'm calling this flip dip, and it's of course not focusing. But basically the original dip control chip goes here. And what I've done is I've created a PCB that flips it hot dog wise, and then it breaks out all of the pins as like jumpered, like there's a pair of wires. I can show this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's a way for me to like get signals off and breadboard them as I want. And I can actually just, it's socketed in there. So I can just remove it. And you can see that the original dip chip is on there as well. I do have a height issue, so it's not quite flat. But one of the things I got in my DigiKey order today was, Mark wants me to do an unboxing video, is headers for here that should actually stack higher. So that could be
It's not a
interesting.
bad idea when you get the DigiKey box of stuff to do an unboxing and just say, here's all the projects I'm not going to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down for that. Maybe I will.
All right. Okay. This is how we come up with shows now, everybody.
Yeah, actually, you know, I don't think I'm going to use it by Friday. So I've been streaming on Friday, and people should tune into Adafruit on Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific. And maybe I will just start with like going through that briefly.
Scott Box.
Scott Box.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you so much, Scott.
No problem.
Right. Next up, we're going to go to Bill Binko. Hello, Bill.
Take a couple minutes, show what you're up to.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. Good.
Can you hear me okay? Look, he wants me to do an unboxing. I can do an unboxing.
Yeah, slim stuff.
I got all my power voltage regulator stuff from them. It came the other day. So thank you, DigiKey. You're still sending the stuff I need.
Oops. Here we go. I got your screen on now.
All right. So I'm showing let me show you this first. So I read this article about a month ago. I bet a bunch of you have. It's written by an ICU doctor who was kind of freaked. I'm sure still is kind of freaked out about people being unable to be with their loved ones because of COVID-19. And I and Brian, who is here, I can't believe this live demo is working, by the way. Say hi, Brian. So Brian, who can't hear me because I muted myself. Hold on. So say hi, Brian. There you go. All right. So
double line.
Yeah, we're going in and out here on my live video here. So Brian is one of the founders of Canvas and is the founder of coughdrop.com, which is an AAC company. And I had this idea based on one of these. Can you put up just me for a second, Phil?
Yeah.
So this is something that we've made at Lesson Picks for a long time. It's basically a device where you can look at my eyes and you can guess what I'm looking at. Like I'm looking at the toilet or I'm looking at the medicine. And it's a low-tech eye gaze device based on something called an E-Tran device from a long time ago. And the idea here was maybe we can make something like this so that when people are intubated or ventilated or get a trach or whatever, and they cannot have anybody in the room with them, is there a way that we can use something like this but make it go remote? One of the neat things about this is that, like you see, this is a no sign. It's printed backwards on the back, right? So that we're looking at the same thing. So I called Brian, if you want to go back to the screen again.
Yeah.
Brian is the founder of Cough Drop, and we're both in the AAC and AT space. And he's really fast. So I told him, hey, let's do this. And we've decided, so Cough Drop and Lesson Picks, which is my day job, are going to create this, which is the same idea, except for I can zoom in on Brian here so I can see his eyes. And then if he is remote, he's in Utah, I'm in Florida. He's using a Mac. It doesn't really matter. It's all WebRTC. But if he wants to look at the I'm tired, it'll look down at the I'm tired. And I can click here and he can confirm it. And in addition, if he can actually, yes, he hits yes. So if he can move and if he has access to a mouse, he can click on it. We've got different views here for I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, etc. And all of these, you can customize it and type in exactly what you want or reduce the number of buttons. All of this is available because Brian made Cough Drop, which is an AAC device. I made Lesson Picks, and the two of us together have decided to launch this. It is 100% open source, so is Cough Drop. And it is going to be free. So for as much as we can, Brian and I, our two companies, along with AT Makers, as anybody who would like to donate, will make this free for anybody in a ventilation kind of situation. We have testing going on now, right, Brian? Yes. And we have testing going on now. The big challenges are going to be privacy, HIPAA, and things like that. So talking to another doctor would be a problem. Talking to your family is not. It does technically work, right? The remaining challenges are going to be getting hospitals to sign in or getting patients to contact us directly to get access to it. And then I really hope this is never popular. So let me be really clear. We don't ever want this to be a popular device. Brian and I both have had situations in our lives where our family members, our children, have been intubated for long periods of time. It sucks. The idea of doing that from another building, let alone another city, is absurd. And so we are both motivated for the right reasons to make this happen. So thank you, Brian. Brian did all.
Thank you, Brian. Good work.
Thank you, Brian.
Right? Yeah.
I love the theory. I remember reading this from Microsoft. They said assistive technology is for everybody. You just don't know when.
Right.
And for some people, they need assistive technology from birth, and some need it when they're teens. Some need it in their mid.
Yeah, turns
Turns
out a lot of that's now. I mean,
yeah, a lot of that's now. It was funny. I was looking at the guy with the door opener with his foot. I'm like, that's assistive technology. Look,
That's right.
You suddenly needed assistive technology.
This is perfect. It's actually a perfect time for you to share the knowledge that you have.
Yeah,
Right.
and I love the fact that we were able to do this quick. I think Brian would agree with this. We are the two people in AT who can move fast, and he moved way faster. Brian way faster than I expected you to. So he got ahead of me, which is great. Right now, if you go to, I'll show you here, covidspeak.org. I believe he even got the website up and running today because it wasn't up. We didn't have a name yesterday. So I'm very impressed.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Please put the link in the chat.
You bet.
Bill, send myself and Ann a note, and Ann will blog this up. And let's get the word out. And for people who need it, I'm glad it's there. I can't wait till we don't need this at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Scott,
Awesome work, Eva.
Scott just posted it in the Discord. So that's there if you'd like it as well. But thanks a lot for helping us get this out. Let me put Brian back up so he can say goodbye. We would love some testers. If anybody wants to test, you know how to get in touch with me. And Phil, I sent you a video walking through how it works. If you want to share that up, it's on YouTube.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Brian. Okay,
Yeah,
next up, we're going to go to Liz from Blitz City.
And her mess of wires.
And as usual, as we get towards the middle or the end of the show, we're going to ask everyone to keep it to about a minute, and we can get to everyone.
Yes. So I've started working on some Bluetooth MIDI stuff with the solenoids that I've been doing. So we've got Itsy Bitsy Bluefruit over I2C to 2 muxes. And then that's going out to a Darlington driver chip and to 2 solenoids here. And when I press an E note, one triggers. I press an F sharp, there one triggers. Next trigger together. Yeah, so that was just making sure that I had the I2C stuff all set so 2 muxes could work together. So each solenoid is on 1 mux right now. So now I can kind of build out. So yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much.
MIDI
Liz.
solenoid.
And keeping it to a minute too. Right on
Good.
time. On budget.
Thank you, Liz.
Perfect tempo.
You're the best.
Have a good
All
one.
right. Next up, we're going to go to Alex. Hello, Alex. How you doing?
Hello. So keep it short. Thermal cameras, not very accurate. FLIR released a product that uses. Can you see my screen? Am I showing it right? That uses a reference at a precise temperature to make the inaccurate cameras more accurate.
Oh,
so I built one out of a resistor, and let me turn it on.
That's a good idea.
It shows the current temperature, and it'll slowly heat up. There's a light on the front. If it's red, it's not at the set point. If it's green, it's at the set point. If it's blue, it overshot. And you could use it with a non-accurate thermal camera to help calibrate it. So you keep this right where the person's face would be, and you register the position of this in whatever software you're using, and then you can do a point comparison, and you can use cheaper thermal cameras that are more accessible to actually do fever screening. So
sweet.
That's
really great with Don Pedro's project.
Yeah.
I need to make it bigger though. It only works up to a meter because the resistors are too small. So I got some resistors from DigiKey. Thank you, DigiKey, for shipping things. Yeah, so I'm going to make a bigger one.
Right. Outstanding. That's really smart. Thank you for sharing this,
Welcome.
Alex. Cool.
Great engineering.
Yeah.
Great idea.
All right. Next up, we're going to hop over to Colin. Hello, Colin.
Hey, Colin.
By the way, Colin has been in not only the Wall Street Journal recently, but also CNBC but you can't tell it's Colin because he has a mask and PPP on, but Colin helped make many of the face shields that the New York City government got from Adafruit.
For a little while I did. Still a lot of people working, a lot of Adafruit employees who are essential.
That's right.
Who are in the office working. And nice segue, something to help keep them safe we've been working on. We have a pre-alpha now of our contact tracer app Trevor and I have been working on. And if I switch over to this camera, I can show you real quick. I'm just gonna open up. And this app will record a trail of your movements for location for employees who are going to the office in order to keep everybody aware of our trail and where we've been. And after like 7-day period, when it's been recording locations, it'll be prompted with a notification. You pop in and you open it up, and it will assemble an email with an image of the trail and also have a list of locations. Like I said, this is pre-alpha. We've got a lot more coming to put in. And then shoot it off to the HQ and then be on our way and restart the whole process again.
So this is the Adafruit privacy respecting contact tracing that we're doing just for our team. Apple and Google, they're going to release something. We're maybe a little faster than Apple and Google right now, but we wanted to have something for our teams so they can manage this on their own and maybe have more control over how the data is used and works.
Right. It's all transparent. It's there. You send the email. So yeah.
All right, nice work. Thank you, Colin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to Gary. Hello, Gary.
Hey, Gary. Thanks for waiting.
Keep it to about a minute with everybody.
What is it?
I'm in Australia. Just copied this off Thingiverse. It's a ZPM. So just trying to solve the world's power problems.
Ah, Stargate.
That's right.
ZPMs are
You
awesome.
love Stargate.
That's right. And I just added in some electronics from Trinket demo. So I just added a capacitive touch just to set off some lighting on it. And I added in a little haptic motor as well. So it has a bit of a buzz to it as well.
Nice.
So yeah, that's just my little project I'm just showing off. So
So
Nice,
cool. Nice
For
work.
people looking to binge watch a series, if you watch Stargate, it's a very pro-science. Samantha Carter she's a lead scientist there.
Yeah.
It's a very good show for all sorts of.
What about the movies? Not so much. Show's great though.
not so much.
Yeah, I think that the television series, and you can watch it for a long time. There's a really neat story arc, and then they have Stargate Universe, and then Stargate Atlantis.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
amazing job, Gary.
All
It's a
right, thank you, Gary.
beautiful project.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to Eduardo and Eduardo's screen. Whoops. Eduardo's screen. Yay!
Oh, look at these animations. They're cool.
What is this?
All right. I'm loving the thermal camera projects, but my day job is a CGI animator. And here's something I'd like to do is put together a public service announcement, Safe and Healthy Living for this year, starring the Circuit Playground Gang. And this is a couple of maquettes that I put together just to get a turnaround look at them. But I'd like to go ahead and put together a whole lot of tips for how to stay safe, how to stay clean, how to prevent for young people, make it friendly and non-threatening and accessible. But I need permission.
And here it is. You have the official permission for worldwide distribution until the heat death of the universe to do exactly this.
On any planet, including Stargates.
I did heat death of the universe. I did universe.
But not the time and the distance.
Multiple dimensions. Even if you go back in time and show this,
That's
it's all
fine.
fine. So please send me a link to this so we can get the word out. Thank you so much for doing this.
This is so great. Thank you, Eduardo.
All right, I'll send you a script for approval.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
that'll be fine. All right, thank
Great
you so much.
stuff. This is the best show and tell. I'm loving it.
Yeah, this is great. All right, next up we're going to go to Joey, and then we're going to go to Speedwell, and then we're going to go to Carrie. If you each keep it a minute, we can get everybody in.
Hey, Joey.
Hey, I'll do it pretty quick. So I've worked on the thermometer hat, sensor hat kind of thing.
Right.
This board has a NeoPixel right here showing like that's not on my head, so it's yellow. And then I have this little sensor board attached. It's got a 8274 an analog devices thermometer and then an accelerometer. And it uses this little 9-pin connector, which it has enough pins that I actually was able to break out the interrupt pins. So it actually has an interrupt pin for temperature good and then one for when the temperature is high. It might start beeping at you because it has this little speaker in it. But yeah, this is the sensor hat. It's SAMD21, got an RTC and a little flash chip, and then like this little connector, which I kind of borrowed from the Monster Mask. And what's cool about it is I can design other little sensor boards. This guy's just like a little proximity sensor, and I can plug him in, and then like kind of come up with different designs or different ideas. And I just have to make a little tiny board to plug into the bigger sensor cap main board.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Well, thank you so much, Joey. And then just for everyone else's reference, so Joey had won the Hackaday contest for Feather, and we were getting ready to film it at Adafruit. We're doing all this stuff,
manufacture it.
and then COVID happened, and so I can't wait till this is over, Joey, and we have you at the factory
Safely with a mask.
And or whenever.
Or remotely.
And
when the world comes back to
and we'll figure it out whether I need to get a telepresence robot and have you tour the factory that way to manufacture the boards.
But now's a great time to do commissions.
But I like how you didn't skip a beat and you just kept making. So thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you guys.
And doing that.
Thank you, Joey.
All right, we're gonna go to Speedwell and then
Speedwell
Carrie.
really fast.
All right, Speedwell.
Hey, this weekend was going to be the Vintage Computer Festival, canceled or delayed for obvious reasons. So myself and other people are going to be putting our vintage machines up on social media tied to VCF, like the Mac behind me, or this fine Apple IIc Plus that has yet to be restored. I got to go fix the caps on that before we fire it up. So that was it. Just if you got it, show it off. Come by with your teletypes, your Cocos.
And here's one thing that I think, because we have a big community and there's events that people aren't going to, there's virtual ones. So this year we can all show our costumes because we're not going to probably go to events. This year we can show these computers because we won't be there in person. But next year, or even the year after, we're going to be able to come together again. So now's the time to bring all those people into the community because you'll be able to see all these vintage computers. Maybe you weren't going to go to this event anyways, but now you're like, oh, this is really neat stuff. I remember it. When is that event again? Oh, it's going to be next year. What time and date? So I think we're going to see even more people participate because,
I've been to a couple virtual conferences that I never would have had the time to go to in person.
Exactly.
So.
I
know.
All
right.
well,
I can't wait.
Drop
a link in the chat so people know where to go because I want to go to the VCF or whatever.
Exactly. Thank you, Speedwell.
Thank you, Speedwell.
All right, Carrie, what you got going on? And if you keep it to a minute, then we'll do a lot of fun.
Problem.
Hey,
No
Carrie.
problem.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, pinballs and computers.
Yeah, I'm taking you right back to 1979 here with the Gorgar pinball machine. And basically, to keep it short, 1979 pinball machines break. And so mine broke. And originally, I thought it was a line in the switch matrix that was going to this inverter chip. And so that's why that inverter chip is a nice surface mount with a dip socket. But it turns out it wasn't that inverter chip. And what had happened was this entire line of capacitors here and resistors up here were completely black and heat damaged.
Ooh.
And that's because this board, so all of the lamps are incandescent and they're driven by BJT transistors. And so each base resistor was putting off about half a watt, and there are 8 of them, so that was about 4 watts. I looked at the board and it was getting up to about 330 F with a thermal camera. So
you can even see the darkening on the PCB.
Yeah, you can, like right here. So I ran across a really nice tutorial on how to upgrade it, and now all of these are no longer BJTs; they're all MOSFETs.
Yay.
Those are 0 ohm resistors, and now it only gets to about 150 F, and everything works again.
Yay! Good work,
Yay!
Carrie.
Thanks.
That's
And
awesome.
This is the back blast for Gorgar.
Oh, wow. Gorgar.
Yeah, Gorgar. First talking pinball machine. So
Yeah, that looks so
the
cool.
playfield.
You're in hell playing pinball with the devil.
All right.
Totally. So it keeps me busy during sheltering at home. Yeah.
All right. Well, you got a fun place to shelter.
Thank you so much, Carrie, and
thank you,
everyone.
All right, that's it.
That's the show and tell for this week. If we were shipping stickers, you would get a As Seen on Show and Tell sticker. Don't worry, we'll get to you later on that because we're just shipping essential items to healthcare professionals, governments, universities, folks in New York. Get everything else from places like DigiKey. We'll see everybody.
Including your MOSFETs to fix your 1979
That's right.
pinballs.
We'll see everybody next week. Don't forget, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. every single week from now until whenever is Show and Tell. 8 p.m. Ask an Engineer.
Coming up next.
Starts in 1 minute.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.